Hi guys, so very last day in June, we made it. I have been reliably informed that today is the start of the pre-shadow phase of Mercury having its next retrograde, which will be the second retrograde of the year. So, what's your communications? Okay, so let's have a look at the Earth Magic cards today, see what we need to know. As with always, with it being the shadow phase of Mercury, anything that arises in the next couple of weeks is what you should pay attention to, because that is what is going to, if you can circumvent a lot of it, it will make the actual retrograde a lot easier. Okay, so let's see what we've got for this week, shall we? So going into July, it's Wimbledon Tennis Championships this week, I think. Apart from that, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so we have perspective this week. This has been coming up a lot recently on different things. It's seeing things from a different perspective. It's an ability that not everybody has. A lot of us, we will put our own personal and normally emotional spin on something, and it's not always a good thing. We need to try and see it from the perspective of the other party, the other person, whatever it is that's going on, and that there's always something going on with people. Perhaps trying to find out what is going on, perhaps trying to find out if there is an issue behind somebody's behaviour, the way they've said something, that sort of thing. Changing your perspective, changing the way that you think about things, that you react to things. It is all part of shadow work. It's not easy. Heck, none of shadow work is easy, let's face it, otherwise everybody'd do it, wouldn't they? And then we'd all be happy and jolly and nobody would hurt anybody else. It would be a much better place to live. But perspective is vastly different. So, looking at it from a different way. I think we had this one, didn't we, when we had the eagle card come out on the animals deck. Again, looking at things with a different perspective. And then we have love, compassion. So, going back to what I was saying about seeing things from a different perspective, knowing that people are coming at things from a different emotional response, different emotional response set effectively to you. But there is also, how much compassion do you show yourself? How much do you forgive yourself? How much do you think, I did what I knew at the time, now I know better? But don't beat yourself up over it. Just go, do you know what? I wouldn't react the same way now. And then when the universe tests you, which it is going to do, then when you don't react in the same way, that is when the healing is starting. You will get constant reminders as to what it is you are healing from. But if we're doing it right, we'll get there. But self-compassion is a huge thing at the moment, I think, especially with Mercury being in retro, or not being in retrograde, but coming up for retrograde, so the shadow phase. So you've got 2 weeks basically before it gets into retrograde. And the final card is Summer Solstice, which we've just had, well, a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago in the UK anyway. Obviously in the Southern Hemisphere it's the winter solstice. Again, it's all about new cycles, new 6-month cycles. This one suggests radiance, but I think that there's a lot more to it than that. I think this is about your inner self, your inner you shining through. And a lot of that comes down to compassion. And again, you've got the perspective card here, you've got compassion. So the way you are viewing things, the way that you are viewing your reactions to things, is vastly different now to how it was a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago even. But there's still work to be done, otherwise we wouldn't be getting the cards. Okay, so there is still something that needs to go on. And being unashamedly yourself, which for me is what this card is. This is the totally unashamed card. I mean, it's very much my my background is a big radiant sun. So it is one of those, you need to let yourself shine through. You need to be true and authentic to yourself. Somebody said to me at work, said something to me at work this morning. I said, yes, but the difference between you and me is that I don't care what anybody else thinks of me. I just come in, I do my job, I go home. People like me or they don't. It's not my issue if people like me. It's not my issue if people don't like me. That's down to them. It's not down to me. I'm not there to, win any popularity contest. I'm there to pay the mortgage. That is it. So I don't go into work thinking, oh, so-and-so saying this and so-and-so saying that. And this, for me, is the change in perspective. I've gone from always wanting to be unanimously liked to not caring. And actually, that is a huge level of freedom. But being careful how you phrase it. Don't turn around and go, do you know what? I don't care about you. Like, you all suck or whatever. Probably not the best way. And because we've got excuse me, I'm drinking my tea. Because we have the shadow phase from Mercury coming in, be very, very careful with your words. There can be a lot of misunderstandings when Mercury is in retrograde and during the shadow periods on either side. So communication can be tricky. Is probably a good way to describe it. It can be probably not one's forte during a retrograde or shadow period. So pick your words carefully, pick your time carefully, and pick your place carefully. But always be 100% wholly and unashamedly you, and just let that flow through. Okay, guys, that's all I'm getting for now. I will see you later. Bye for now.